Hi, in this Photoshop tutorial I'm going to show you how to create this dispersion effect which I've got in front of you here. Basically involves using a couple of layer masks, as we can see over in my project file over here, and using a brush to basically get this cool effect that we've got going on here. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to the standard image that I started with. I'll put a link to this in the description of the tutorial later on, so if you want to have a go using the file that I'm using, I'll share this with you. I'll also put a link to the Photoshop brush I use to get the sort of splashing effect off that comes off here. Okay, so the first step is to make a duplicate of our original layer. If you're working with a different image, obviously the first step would be to isolate the image from its background. If you need a little bit of help learning how to do that, I've also got a tutorial on my channel on YouTube where you can learn how to correctly select an image and isolate it from its background. Okay, so we've got two layers here, and each layer is going to need a layer mask. Okay, so to click layer mask, you click the little icon down the bottom there. Now the first layer mask needs to be black, so at the moment it's white, so I'm going to click Control I on the keyboard to invert that colour, and that makes that layer mask black. Now I'm going to click on the top layer, and I'm going to add a white layer mask. Cool, alright, now we need to go down and select the image, that's the bottom image, so I'm going to click on the little thumbnail down there, and we're going to go Filter, Liquify. Now the goal here is to sort of push all the colour from the girl into this background so we can use it with a brush. So you don't need to worry too much about what this image looks like. I'm just using the top tool there, the warp, the forward warp tool. And I just want to push all that colour out, so it's nice her here, I want to push that out. Plenty of blue here, and I want to sort of push this all the way up to the top here. And get a bit more blue from the jeans out. Okay, so we don't need to worry what this looks like. I'm just more worried about getting that colour sort of splashed around up top there. Okay, cool, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll click OK. It'll take a little while for Photoshop to process that because yeah, the resolution's, it's not too large, but it's take a little while. Okay, so you can't see what's happened yet because it's on the background layer, so we don't need to worry about that at this point. Okay, so now we're going to be adding the brushes to the layer mask. So I'm going to click on the top layer mask there, and I'm going to click on the white area. Now when you're working with a layer mask, you add to it by using the opposite of the colour that the mask is. So obviously this is a white layer mask, so I need to use a black brush. Okay, so I want my foreground colour set to black, and then I'm going to go to the brush, and I've got the brush that I want to use already selected. Now I'll put a link to that brush set in the description. Okay, so this top layer is, we're going to use that on her. So this is the, on this top one we want to put some sort of splashes across the top of her, so I'm just going to that. So I want to get that splashing effect across her. I think this brush set's originally used for blood splat, so it's going to give you that splatty look there. Okay, that's pretty good. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the bottom layer mask. We're going to click on the black, and we need to set our foreground colour to white, so I'm just going to quickly flick that little arrow there to flick it around, and now is when we paint this sort of area here to have it coming off her. Okay, looks a bit manky at the moment. We're going to come back and sort of sort that out a bit. Okay, so a little bit of trial and error here. Okay, so I want to, I've obviously taken a little bit much off there, so I'll flip back to the black one. Sort of eat back into it a bit. And that's essentially the technique there. So you just spend a bit of time, getting it how you want it. Okay, I think that looks pretty cool. We'll just put a background colour on so you can see the final effect. And there we have it. So I'll flip back to my original, see how close I got it. That's the original. The original looks maybe a little bit better, but you can see the idea. It looks pretty effective still. Okay, thanks for watching my tutorial. Subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more tutorials like this one. Thanks a lot.